I'm trying. So, okay, so now how did you get to Magic Johnson's foundation?
Well, I was after I sold my company, I went to work for a couple financial institutions in Atlanta. I worked for Merrill Lynch and I worked for SunTrust Bank. And one of the things that the his foundation was looking for positive role models in different areas, and financial literacy was one of the things that they wanted to talk about, especially as showing a black man can have a job or black woman can have a job outside of athletics or entertainment. You can do something else and still be just as proud of it. And so they had I think his assistant had reached out to me. We had a conversation when I was in LA one time, and so I said, I'd be happy to be involved and show them what I do on a daily basis. And so I had a couple young kids that would come up to my office, and we talk about what was a day in the life of a financial advisor or somebody in trading, or just show them a different space. And so we do that, and almost like a Big Brother program. And so did that for
Outstanding.
yeah. So it's a great thing, and that's what I'm doing with my foundation. I want to continue that that movement, and even with my consulting company. So I do my consulting company's Launch Team Consulting, and that's what we do. We do training on diversity, equity, inclusion. We do training on leadership, business strategy, all those different things with corporations around the world. So
Equity.
Yeah, like
That
what do
word
you
equity.
they finally started to talk about it now.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
I've been like, so at work, they was like, oh, we having a whole little program. I said, we finally talking about something. It took for George Floyd for us to use the word when that word been out for 100,000. Stop.
Ooh, speak on it.
Stop.
Speak
Stop.
on it.
So I don't want to
Yeah.
sit in your little programs just so y'all can check my name off on the list to say it. It's only like 2, 3 of us in the room anyway. No, no, thank you. I don't need to talk about that. I want to do my job and let me do my job, but I don't need to do, you don't need to do this, okay? Because
Mhm.
it's phony. It's phony. You just decided to use that word. Okay.
Yeah.
Count me
Yeah.
out.
That's the conversation, because I have when a company calls me and say, yeah, I want you to do a presentation on diversity and equity and inclusion, and what's it gonna cost, and you know can we do it in like 60 minutes? I was like, it's like, do you want to check the box or do you want to solve the issue? Like, 'cause you can't solve 400 years of this with 60 minutes.
In
Yeah.
60 minutes.
We can progressively help you work with the organization and give a presentation in the beginning to show, here, this is the issue, this is a problem, this is why you have the biases, but you ain't gonna solve it with just checking the box and putting my name on it. No, it's not happening that way.
Mhm.
Try, and that's what they're doing. Check box. Let's talk.
That's exactly what they're doing.
What is the age group? Because I just started talking about going over some financial literacy information with my son. What age do you think is most appropriate to have those conversations? Because one of the things that we talked about, actually, we just talked about this morning. One of the things we talked about is how the Black and Brown community doesn't have the exposure. Like, a lot of us work and save our money, but we don't have the information to invest, buying homes. Some of us do, some of us have that type of exposure, but a lot of us still don't. And what age do we start having those conversations? Like I explained to him, I said,
Birth.
yeah, but I said, you always wear Tims. I says, but instead of buying Tims, why don't you save up $1,000 and throw some money, into a Timberland stock or a Nike stock or something like that, And then we talked about home buying and different things. And we talked about life insurance. Like,
Right.
Don't send me a GoFundMe, okay?
thank you, girl.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Not if you wearing have Birkins and some. I'll be saying people, I don't care if it's a
Thank
fake
you.
knockoff.
Mm.
If you wearing clothes better than me, and something happened to you, that GoFundMe, I'm walking right past that. I'm walking right past that because
Thank
How
that's
you
you.
got how you
you
got
got
some
to
red
invest in
bottoms
yourself.
in your bank account in the red?
What?
Thank you.
Invest in
Always on
yourself.
overdraft.
Yeah, invest in yourself,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So what age is appropriate? Let's start there.
Uh, I think, I mean, as soon as as you're teaching your kids, yeah, I mean, you don't they're not going to understand the ins and outs, the intricacies when they're 3 and 4 years old, but they will understand if you say, okay, here, if you want something, there's a cost to it, and you have to do something for it. And the more that you maintain and keep something, keep that equity, then the better opportunity you have to get that thing. And do you need that thing right now, or is it something that that is just a want? And so those are the conversations. I'm on the board of a company called a nonprofit called the Black Owned Institute. And basically what we're doing is putting educational program on Black history into the school system. So after school, everybody gets to learn that. But for the financial literacy part, I think it's a conversation. You know, I would see my white friends or my Jewish friends or Asian friends that I had in high school. When I go over to the house and we're sitting at dinner and having a conversation, their parents are talking about college. They're talking about, you know, investing, talking about, you know, their credit, about here, you know, you can use this way. And that's part of the conversation. It's like every day of dinner. And at my house, you know, even though my father had started making crazy amounts of money, we never had that conversation. We never talked about credit. We never talked.
That's not table talk for us. Not necessarily. It is. It's becoming it now, but for real, we've been really behind when it comes down to it, which is, you know, y'all don't want me to start preaching, but it's systemically, it makes sense. At the same time, you know, we just got, and that's good that you asked that question, like what age? It's like once they come out.
Right. Yeah, because it's not set up for
we
us.
Gotta,
the system is not set up for us to achieve in that way.
No,
right.
You know,
it's just not.
Everything around it. It's like, here, don't get a bank account, go to corner store, liquor store, and cash a check there. Use the cash. Don't let it work for you. Always use cash. Never talk about credit, because if you're able to use credit and build that up, then no, you have buying power.
That's right.
Yeah, no, but just spend your money as you get it.
Right.
That same liquor store that's over there in Glenard, and everything else tore down. They got a whole new renovated place. That liquor store still there today. And you know how long that liquor store been there. Yep. Come on now. Yep. Come on.
Liquor store McDonald's everywhere in the hood.
Everywhere.
I'll tell you.
Talk about eating healthy, about taking care of yourself. That's not the conversation.
Thank you. And
they make it possible.
The thing that I don't like also is that when you do try to have those conversations, you do try to integrate even certain dietary needs into your lifestyle. You have others that are saying, no, why should we do this? Why should we do that? This is the way we've always done it. And it makes you want to separate from people, because it's like, I can't allow my child to grow independently, you know, without, you know, all this noise. So it's like, I think, because I was watching a documentary, we was talking about the notorious hip hop makers or something like that. It was called on Hulu. And I'm looking at all these people in the music industry, the people who are most influential and responsible for so many careers, but yet we see the same thing over and over again. Either someone's getting locked up, or they're getting shot, or, you know, you could be working, like you already know, you could be working with an artist who has no money in a room, but they were very popular, very famous, or, you know.
Like, well, what happened? You don't have no coins?
No money.
And I'm saying, he was on everybody's video now. Stop.
And smart. I'm not talking about somebody, you know, I'm talking about smart. And you still, like, the financial planning isn't there. Like you said, the conversations aren't happening. So now, you know, from me watching that with my son, he's like asking all these questions. And I feel bad because I'm like, today we actually started having a legit conversations, you know, having legit conversations and talking about what the next steps are, what you could do, you know, how you could start or get your start in this direction. I told him, and Lika, you remember, I used to, every time I saved up $500, I would throw it in a CD, you know, and even though that's small and very conservative, but it's still something.
Listen, she was the first person that I had never heard of a damn CD. I said, what? Mind you, what was this? 19, I was 19.
99, 98, something like that.
I'm like, a what? But, and that's the whole thing. And it's like, you got to take in that information versus somebody acting like you acting white.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Stop.
Exactly.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, we live in a white capitalist society. So you got to learn how to actually function within it.
Yeah.
Tell it.
Until you create your own.
You know, and it's like if you could get them while it's early, you know, you could avoid a lot of mistakes. You know, at least let me show you where, you know, your priorities should lie, you know, like with the life insurance thing and stuff like that. You don't want to go fund me, you don't want to have to struggle, you know, you want to leave something, pass something down to your kids, your grandkids. And it's like those are the most that we could pass down to our grandkids is our apartment that we've been in, you know, on Section 8 or whatever else. You're like, let's change the narrative.
Right.
And I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's like you already doing that with so many other kids. Like we got to build on that. You know, we gotta do more than just love up on our kids and all other stuff. And yeah, like I like to dance and all other stuff. Be on TikTok with you too, but at the end of the day, TikTok ain't paying the lights. They not.
Right.
You know.
First and foremost, we gotta keep them safe. We keep them safe, and then we go and educate them. So, and that's what my whole thing is about. There's one thing that resonated with me. My grandfather said, "Know better, do better." Like, okay, don't make the same damn mistakes over and over again. You know, if we have the information, you know, pass the information to somebody else. Share the information, you know, show them how to fish. Don't just take them to the water and give them a fish.
Yeah.
Show them how to fish. Show them how to get their own. Show them why it makes sense.
That's big right there, showing someone how. You know, a lot of times we talk and say, hey, you should do step by step by step, but you actually didn't even show them how to do it. Like it's womp to me. You know, I'm a visual person. Look, give me the rod, the worm, the hook, show me so that I can know how to do it. And then I don't want you doing it for me. And once I know how to do it, I'm good.
Right.
You know?
Right. I can figure out how to feed my family and then
exactly.
Then I show somebody else. I show somebody else how to do it. Then they stay out my pocket because they know how to do it themselves.
Exactly. Y'all, this has been a blessing. Y'all don't really understand. Y'all done lift my spirits on this Sunday.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. And I'm so happy that he came to me and he asked. Because I'm like, I didn't even think to start having the conversation. Look, he didn't graduate high school and everything. I didn't even think
and it's never too late. And it's never too late.
Right. And I thank God for that one.
I mean, if they start putting $100 away and put it in an investment every single month, let it sit at even at age 30. You know, put it in a Roth IRA and you max it out and get what you can, you know, for the year, every year over year, the compound interest is going to get you to $1 million by the time you're 60.
There you go.
That's small. So don't think that he just putting a little bit away ain't gonna make no difference.
Right. You're right.